A Marine veteran from North Texas working in Iraq made a Facebook post that has millions of people talking.
He posted a commentary in support of the president's travel ban, saying that growing hostility in Iraq should be proof that travel restrictions are indeed necessary.
I can't go out in town here. Why should they go out inside of my country?
Stephen Gurn says the tension and danger for Americans abroad has increased in recent weeks. In a story that you'll see only here on Fox 4, James sat down with Gurn. James is now back, and really he got this overwhelming response.
Right, both positive and negative, Steve and Heather. But we were unable to find any specific reports of a recent act of violence against Americans in Iraq. But we do know just 3 days after the executive order was signed, the State Department issued a travel warning in Iraq. And just 3 days ago, the U.S. Embassy reported credible threats of possible attacks on hotels in Baghdad frequented by Westerners.
Just trying to inform you about what's actually happening on the ground in one of the banned countries.
That's how Marine veteran and private security contractor in Iraq, Stephen Gurn, signed off of a Facebook post February 1st.
Right around the time that I woke up, there was 1.1 million views.
When it grew to 5 million views, he got a call from his security director.
You got 30 minutes, pack your things. We need to get you out of country. Your life is in danger.
So check this out. Currently I'm on a plane. And ain't nobody else on this motherfucker but me.
1 week after his solo flight home, Gurn's post has been viewed 44 million times. It describes a question he asked the Iraqi nationals on his security team about President Trump's travel ban.
As an American, if I went out in town right now, would I be welcome? And they instantly said, absolutely not, you would not be welcome. And I said, okay, so what would happen if I went out in town? And they said, the locals would snatch me up and kill me within an hour.
They were executed for working with me.
Gurn's not the only one who believes the executive order has increased tension.
He's dead.
In April of 2003, former State Rep Alan Vaught was an Army captain stationed in Fallujah and worked closely with Iraqi nationals. A half dozen of his colleagues are dead, killed over the years, his contacts say, because they worked with Americans. Those contacts tell Vaught the locals were surprised by the executive order, and many view it as anti-Muslim.
Based upon information from inside of Iraq that it has increased the recruiting ability for ISIS, therefore the threat level to Americans has gone up.
Gurn is quick to say not all Iraqis are bad, but
For all those that are good, there's a huge number that aren't. And for the ones that are good and would stand up for you, they won't do it in their own country. Because if they do, they'll be killed.
Now, Gurn says he wasn't trying to incite anyone with the post. He just felt compelled to let people know what was happening inside one of the 7 banned countries.
All right, so to reiterate, Gurn is okay with the temporary travel ban as it was. It's not active now, but is okay with it.
Right. He does believe that there should be an appropriate level of vetting of people coming into the United States. But he says, you know, again, this is not a lifetime ban. And he says a lot of the Iraqis feel betrayed because they hear ban, they think, you know, here I am helping the Americans, and suddenly I'm banned from going to America when they're literally risking their lives by helping Americans there. So there's a lot of misinformation and things going on right now. And they don't know what to believe, and it's just trying to, you know, it's getting people pretty amped up.
I get it. All right, James Rose, thank you.